Hi, and welcome back to episode 2 of my continuing Let's Play of Vagrant story. I'm Spatvark, and let's get right on with it. So, the last episode I ended by defeating the Minotaur and unlocking battle abilities. Now, this is actually quite important. So here in this room, we got this guy here, just popped up. This is a training dummy. Human class, physical affinity and type neutral. Doesn't matter, you basically can't do any real damage to him anyway, as you can see. But this is not surprising that they put this right here, because having just unlocked battle abilities in our menu, I can, whenever I attack, I can start doing chains, which is a timing based thing. I press a button at the right time and it'll do a follow-on attack, and then I can do a follow-on attack from the follow-on attack, so I can chain after chain after chain and extend the chain theoretically indefinitely until the enemy dies. So we start out with 3 chain abilities. I'm going to put heavy shot on circle button, I'm going to put temper on the triangle button, and gain life on the square button. Yeah, that is square. Okay, well, that camera's not doing well today, is it? Oh, whatever. Who cares? No one wants to look at me anyway. So that's chain ability. So those are 3 buttons on my gamepad that I'll be pressing at the correct time to do chain attacks. I also have defense abilities. So ward, I'm going to put on the triangle. Deflect damage, I'm going to put on the square, and the impact guard I'll put on the circle. That's the one I'm going to be using the most. Ward will be incredibly useful throughout the game, and that is basically never going to get used at all. I'm never going to reflect damage. It's there. I'm actually going to put something on the square button. So let's give you an example of what this actually does. So here's my target. I'm going to go for this thing's right arm. Let that end there at 8 chains. As a general rule of thumb, you never want to go beyond 8 chains, because as I mentioned earlier, risk, which you can see slowly counting down in the top left, so risk adds up per attack you do. So if I just do normal attack, that adds some risk. Just do normal attack, adds 1 risk. Whereas if I chain 1, 3. Okay, that was a bit fast. But further chains add even more risk on top. Risk affects a couple of different things. One thing it does is risk decreases your hit rate, increases the amount of damage you take, really increases the amount of damage you heal with the heal spell, makes 2 spells in the game more accurate. One of them is Unlock, which you can use for unlocking certain chests, and the other is Analyze, which is the most important spell in the game, and I will never use it. Well, actually I will, but to show you what it's like, but other than that I don't really need to. And so risk, you don't really want to let risk get out of hand. On the other hand, risk is useful. Oof. So, at the moment I'm just using the heavy shot and instill. I'm not using the other one, whatever that was. I'll gain life. Yeah, I'm never going to use that. I'm just going to keep going. There is a title for getting 30 chains. I'm not going to keep going. But you can see my risk is really shot up. But you can also see weapon out, slow. Weapon away, quick. And that's the same with slowly regenerating health and regenerating MP. MP is a pain in this game. There will be spells in this game that cost 60 MP to cast. And as you can see, I've only got 52, and you don't get many. It's difficult to increase MP in this game. So this is why when I was saying the stat roulette reel I got against that Minotaur getting MP +2 was really good. That's why more MP will really come in handy later in the game in the final area. Anyway, let's get back to it. Yeah, I'm going back to it. See that I had the timing there for the chain, and I have just learned a new chain ability or defense ability, basically a new battle ability. It's the kind of overall term for them. So I can now learn Mind Assault, awful. Gain Magic, awful, but actually has some use occasionally. Numbing Claw, not utterly useless. Snake Venom, complete pants. And I can also learn defense abilities. Wind Break, reduce, Fireproof, Terror Ward, Aqua Ward. These are all good. Don't get much use, but when you do need them, you really need them. So, in this case, I'm going to get Numbing Claw, because that is probably the most useful out of those 8 for the moment. So how did I unlock that battle ability? So you can see here it says next 34 points. What this is how many successful chains you land with. So when I killed that bat, I didn't actually decrease my counter, because whilst I did hit the button in time to do a chain attack, it died on the first hit, so it didn't count for anything. But it did count the chains I got against the dummy. So the first one I unlocked took me 20 chains to get down, which I did quite easily. Now I need another 34 chains to be able to unlock the next battle ability, and it slowly increases the amount you need to get each time, and it, unless you really go out your way to do it, you won't get all battle abilities in your first playthrough. It's like you won't get them in your second playthrough either, to be honest, unless you go out your way to do it. So anyway, there we are. Actually, wait. Like I said, I'm never going to use Gain Life. So Numbing Claw. That's still not going to get much use, but... Oh, that's the other thing Risk does, I forgot. It increases critical rate. So that's Impact Ward, or is it Impact Guard? Impact Guard. Yay. Probably shouldn't have used that. Right, so here's another thing with weapons, and we'll come to them, it's quite important. And it's the reason why I'm doing chain abilities first before defense abilities. So if I look at my weapon, so I've got these 3 weapons. So I mentioned all those stats, the class, affinity and type. So at the moment this weapon does best against beasts, does bad against evil class, it's physical affinity, so it will only do physical damage in attacks, and type is edge. So those 3 stats, the blunt, edge, the piercing, actually come from the hilt of the weapon. And then the blade type, as we can see in the bottom, it says it's edged. So when we look here, we can see that edged is the one highlighted. So edged 4, so it adds like a bit of extra damage based upon your edge stat. Then also we have our other stats kind of near the bottom right. We have a range. So the stats on the left are your basically what this adds to the thing, and then that's on the right is your overall what you actually have. So it's like you start with. Have I going to the end? Okay, no, I can't have. Right. So you can see that this weapon gives me an extra 3 range, gives me 1 risk, 10 attack strength, 1 attack intelligence, which is mostly for casting magic, and -4 agility. So agility kind of affects your hit rate, movement speed and jump distance a little bit, but very small amounts. So if I just look random at Toverish, so you can see that it's got a running grip, which is more suited to blunt weapons. And I have that crossbow, which is just bad, don't use it. Ironically, attack strength 12, 10. The crossbow is actually my strongest weapon at the moment, but it's terrible. Anyway, the reason why I originally came into this menu in the first place, up at the top left we have 2 little bars just underneath where it says weapons. So we have DP, damage points, and PP, which are phantom points. So DP is kind of like your weapon's integrity. So you can see there's up to 126 points in weapon integrity, and 95 is where I'm currently at. And then PP is kind of how deadly it's become. It's sort of drinking in the blood of your enemies sort of thing. So a maximum of 136. I'm currently at 134 because I killed a few things with it. PP goes up fairly quickly. Thing with both of these stats is that they kind of affect your damage and defense in a percentage based way, as in, so if I was at 126 out of 126 DP, I would be, I'd have an extra, I think it's like an extra 100% damage. It's a huge amount that it's affected. The same with the PP. Anyway, yeah. So one of those battle abilities I equipped and chain abilities was Temper, which repairs a small amount of weapon DP. I should be using that more often, because otherwise weapon gets pants. So that's something else that you see me doing a lot, is run to the exit of the room, put the weapon away, wait for the rest to go down. Oof. Oh dear, my timing's not on today, is it? That bat's not going to come. Very rare to see that 2 enemies ready to attack at the same time. There we go. I forgot there's a second bat. Not worried about the wolf because that won't ever catch up to me. Now you can miss your chains, and we'll come to this shortly. But enemies have a hidden stat called Chain Evade, which can differ on the various different body parts. At the moment, because we saw fighting the humans, they had, individual body parts that could attack, but the bats and the wolves don't. I forgot about that. Mostly because I managed to avoid it the first time. If you see the range of where that is compared to the door, that's actually really commonplace for traps to appear. Anyway, Shaman, heal. I like that there is mostly a quick way to do you know, you've got your like quick menu here, but unfortunately it doesn't include weapon switching, which would be a huge deal. If I could hold down right trigger to bring up a weapon switch menu, I would, you know, that's like one of the big things I'd love to see in this game. I forgot. Again, there's a second bat. So the enemies in rooms can change depending upon how much health you have. That always amuses me. That guy just going for a ride. Poor. I was saying something before I started talking about that rule going for a ride. Yes, enemies that spawn in the rooms can change depending upon how much health you have. So you can get ones that are like, you know, above 150 but below 200, below 100 kind of things. Below 150 rather. Plot. Well, not really. Easy. Dude's name is Mandel, by the way. Just random factoid. The two guys we killed in the first episode were called Goodwin and Sackheim. Anyway, I mentioned before about PP, and PP increases by basically killing with a weapon. So I'm going to equip this rapier because I want to max out the PP on this, because that will come in handy for the next boss, which is coming up very shortly. Good. Let's finish it off. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. You can see that my damage here is not actually great. If I switch to that my edged weapon, I'd probably do a lot better. Oh dear. That's bad. Oh dear, that was terrible. You can see my hit rate there dropped to into the 60s. Oh, nice. Your chain damage. Oh, damn it. That's me trying to talk at the same time. Not a good idea. But your chain damage is based upon the damage of your initial hit. So if you do a really big first hit, then you're going to do really good damage on the chains. And sometimes when you get a crit on the first hit, you're like, yeah, okay, I should stop at 8, but I'm going to keep going. Okay. Let's just check that. My PP is not very high. I need more kills with this. You can see though, I use that blade a lot, but I've only lost 1 DP on it because I was using it still frequently. Okay. So check it again. It's gone up a little bit, not a huge amount. It's a shame because I'm gonna. The more PP you get, the better it is for what's about to happen, and what is about to happen is our second boss fight. Eventually. Now you might remember in my first episode I got something. This, the Grimoire de Bile. Containing the spell Degenerate, temporarily decreases target strength. Now strength is not just your to do with the damage you deal, it's also with the damage you defend against. So by reducing the Dullahan's strength, I increase the amount of damage I will do to it. First of many casts of that throughout this game. Now look at that. Okay, the hit rate sucks, but that is massive amount of damage compared to everything else, right? Don't do it. Don't do it. It has huge. Actually, I'll show you what I mean. Yep, there's one. Okay. Alright, okay. I was supposed to say, oh no, don't go for the abdomen because the chain evade on it means you miss half of the chains. I missed 1 chain out of 7. So, who knows? Second boss down. I would have said go for the arms, but actually that worked perfectly fine. Okay, this is a strength reel. Crap. That is the worst thing you could get is health bonuses, because you get so many of them throughout the game. For instance, you get items like this, Elixir Queen, which adds health again. Elixir Mated, fantastic, yes please. And Grimoire Lux. I might use this once or twice ever in the entire game. It's a light spell, single target attack, but also just unlocked a break art for the sword. That's fantastic. And again, chain abilities. I'm going to take Dulling Impact, which is really useful. And then there's a chest here. Haha. Okay, Rusty Nail is a polearm. I am never going to use this. I'm never going to use any polearms in this playthrough whatsoever. Braveheart, very, very useful gem. It's the first gem we found. And the Cure Bulb, which 100 health. I'll probably never use those either. Why would I when I get magic that refills fairly quickly? It's 5 MP for that spell. So we are done with the wine cellar. Move on to the catacombs. Now, okay, so here's a little interesting thing. Yes, we have our save point again. I'm not going to use it. But here, we also have a special little Container. Woo! Container. Random skull and bones sitting there. So container is kind of a universal storage. So if you find another container somewhere else, it'll have the same items in that you put in here. It's like your usual stash, basically. The problem is, to actually put things in, you have to save the game every time, and it's a pain. And it's not infinite space. You will start running out towards the end of the game. So I'm going to very quickly, it's going to go a little weird because I'm about to click outside of the game. Because the reason I'm doing this playthrough, actually, is I've written a walkthrough for this. It's up on GameFAQs. It's been around for over a decade now, but I've had to recently update it because I've only recently got my account back, actually. But very much out of date. I want to make sure that what I've written works. So I need to go to the next page of my walkthrough. Okay. Interesting. Look at the map. Ah. Hey. I have completely forgotten that thing was there. Okay. That's basically equip. The last time I'm going to use that rapier on enemies that aren't particularly suited to it. So the rapier is a piercing weapon, whereas the fandango is edged. Soon I'll be getting another edge weapon, which will be a much better fit. Uh-oh. Fine. 35 and 91. That's a bit of a risk. So here's the thing with this game. I'm going to be very silly here. Freeze trap, okay. Like I said, 2 squares away from the door. But I want to illustrate something here. Oh no, I'm about to die! Wait, no, I'm not. Traps cannot kill you in this game. Very, very useful to remember that. So if you ever walk into a trap, don't panic unless there's enemies around, in which case you can start getting worried. So MP is easy enough to deal with. Might as well just top it up. Okay. Move slightly to the left because there is a physics engine in very much line of sight, so theoretically I could have tried targeting a body part and clipped the corner of the sarcophagus. Uh-oh. That'll be fine. And if I hit the sarcophagus there's a skeleton, I would have. No, back here, back here, back here. Get up. Yeah, you can't pick up a one of these carry crates from the middle of the pile. You can only pick up from the top and the bottom, and obviously that situation there I wasn't going to pick it up without destroying one of the crates. Okay, my hit rate on this guy is awful. But it doesn't matter, I crit. Oh, maybe it does matter. I'm good at this game, honestly. Now this is important. Pink Squirrel, the first blunt weapon we find. Very useful. And the crossguard is the first grip we find for swords that has a slot in it for gems. Slightly better armor, slightly better boots. Another gem, this increases power against undead. That's something I'm going to discuss fairly shortly. But why that's not actually a good gem. But will still get used on occasion. Oh, didn't mean that. So, what did I pick up? I picked up a cuirass. Better defense in both aspects, actually. And I picked up long boots. Better physical defense, but lower in defense. I'm not really worried about in defense at the moment. Oh, that's the point. It's an improvement, even if it is only an improvement in the defense, which I'm not worried about. Okay, follow. So if we look at setup, we've got a thing called attach gems. So the only weapon I can attach gems to is this, which I'm not going to use. So that's useless. And I can attach gems to the shield. Oh. That doesn't really do anything. When it says must be equipped on a weapon, that's not strictly true. The plus 20% success rate of non-magical attacks only works when it's equipped on a weapon. But the plus 3 to all the class and affinity stat, that does work, regardless. Anyway, yeah, let's stick that on my shield, why not? Because I will be fighting undead. No, that's the entire reason I went in there in the first place was to do that. No, it wasn't. It was to do that. Jesus wept. I'm good at this game, really. So I now have a blunt weapon equipped. I have my shield with gem equipped. There are other options here in this setup menu. Assemble weapons can only be done in workshop. Repair and combine can only be done in workshop. I can rename weapons, but not shields or armor. Disassemble. I'll show you what that looks like. Never gonna use this. Disassemble. Now I only have 5 weapons. Might as well. No, I'm going to keep that just in case. So what that disassemble did is, if we look here in the blade, we can see the blades for those 2 weapons are still here. They're just not in a weapon form anymore. You can only assemble weapons when in a workshop, and we'll get to one shortly. So you can see when I was using edge weapons against these, I was doing way more damage to those hellhounds. Chain ability again. Instill. This is the important one. This is the last of the chain ability that is like, oh yeah, this is really, really good. That is like, this is what I was working towards getting quickly. So instill adds a little bit to PP every time you use it. So I'm going to slap that on straight away. The thing with chains is you can't use the same chain twice in a row. So I just got a couple of chains, but what am I at now? Okay, I only need 19 more chains to get to the thing. Right, and this is going to annoy the hell out of me. I hate... Oh, go away, mouse. I hate this thing I'm about to fight next. Nope, finish getting the rest down. Gotcha. So this is a phantom type enemy. Phantoms are annoying because they tend, actually not tend to be, they are always spellcasters. Oh, that was bad. Too far away. No. There, got it. Okay. Oh. Hello. I thought you got elixir of queens from this fight. I need to check that more often. So I open this chest. Another weapon I don't give a crap about. A great sword. They're big swords, obviously, but I don't like them. Bronze knuckles and elixir of creams. You know what? Okay, let's do this. So, might as well just start using these. Now, my personal recommendation is, you saw I just got HP +4. +4 is the most you can get from these elixirs, and later in the game, the wines you can find. My recommendation is to be really, really cheap and safe before every time you use one of these. But that's kind of really, really lame. It's like my last playthrough, I got max. Well, you are more likely to get max out the HP ones than anything else. This is the one I care about though. I really want +4 MP. I'm gonna get like +1. I know it, I know it. I'm very happy about that. Anytime you get more MP is great. And then also Elixir of Kings. Again, I can get +4. This one I'll probably get +1. What the hell is going on? Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, you can get from +1 to +4 with those. My recommendation is save before you ever use one. And if you don't get +4, reload. It's what I did on my last playthrough, including using specific manipulations on the stat roulette reels to make sure that I always got like the biggest stat increase I could, get whatever I wanted. The problem is, not everyone's going to want to do that. It is cheap. It's close enough to cheating actually that I wouldn't blame anyone who considered that to be cheating. Yeah, it's stressed. I'm not care about that. Oh. Yeah, previously we couldn't get through this door, but we can now. Okay. So you can see terrible damage. So I've changed this to the Fandango. See, okay. It does damage, but not much. And if you switch now to the rapier, it does the same amount of damage actually. Okay, that's really, but shockingly bad. Huh. Okay. Oh, fine. Oh, that was bad. Go down already. That's a bit more like it. So again, just a very brief look. We can see maxed out PP. That's going to make a big difference in the amount of damage I can do. West, I think, is to the left. Yep. Okay, so I want to go left. That's my next port of call. No, don't want to do any of that. Okay. Let's just make sure I'm not about to do something very stupid. Yep, that's all level. Okay, so push this up against the wall. No, push this up against the wall. I'm good at this game. There, now I can reach up here. Typically with phantom blunt weapons are best, but... Oh damn. Ah! Somehow I fluked that timing there. No. This one. Damn, I can't see it. No, you can't see me. You need line of sight, buddy. If I keep moving like this, I'll try to make him pop up here again. See, really weak, goes down easy, like your mother. So, Raging Ache is really good, but also really cheap. So basically, the lower your health, the more damage you do with Raging Ache. That doesn't sound amazing, but actually it really is. It adds up quite quickly. Because chains also increase in damage every time you do it. Destroy that. And keep on rolling. Oh god no, stop that please. And this one, you'll push, because there's a weird thing about Fake Story, is if you're not on the if I just push that, right? So I'm facing the chest. Clearly you can easily do it. I'm pressing B, I'm pressing the A button on my Xbox pad, and it's not opening. So that's the cross on the actual PlayStation pad. Yeah, so I do that now, I'm on the same level as it, and I can open the chest. This weapon is awful. It's terrible, lousy, rubbish, no good. I'm going to use this for the entire rest of the game. It's going to be with me all the way. New shield, another mask, helm. Heralis, which is strong against humans. Don't really like it. Horizon, very useful, cures numbness. And Eye of Argon, never get used at all. So, a lot of this game is about the menus. So I'm going to equip the Taj because I have much better physical defense. I've got 2 knuckles, so I'm going to equip both of those. Equip that. No, keep that. Have I finally got a new accessory? No, I haven't. Okay. Set up. Disassemble shield. So remove this from the pelt shield. Disassemble that. Attach gems. Nope, can't attach anything to that. Attach gem to the Taj. It's going to be for here. It's going to be Iocus. Let's switch weapons back to Pink Squirrel. Stupid. Oh, I think there probably was a trap there, but okay. So that Sulcus, as I said, is going to replace the rapier as our main piercing weapon. However, the rapier is going to get used for the next boss fight coming up. Okay, down here, push you. Sort that, push here. Push you off. Pick you up. Drop you on top of them. Climb on top and jump. Yay! I remembered how to do that one from scratch. Like I said, a lot of this game is about the menu. Okay, that's good. I've maxed up the PP on that. What was it like on this? That's good. Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't let my wrist go down. That's not really a problem. Woo! One shot, baby. Because it's even funny when you start doing that to bosses in this game. Though usually that's with magic. Okay, and here we have our very first workshop, the work of art. Now workshops have limitations. So as we can see here, we can only combine wood, leather and bronze items. Anything that is the other materials, so that's iron, Hagane, silver and Damascus. Four. That seems a lot better. Can't be worked on here. You can possibly do combinations that create those materials, but you then can't do anything else with them. So I am going to, let's see, what do we have? Basically nothing I really want to combine at all. No. Interesting thing, if you combine something bronze and something iron within the same weapon type, so if you have so I've got an iron club here. If I have a bronze club, I create a Hagane club. Hagane is pretty good. It's like going to be the weapon material, armor material, everything materials you use the most in the game. I have the Scramasax here, which is silver. You can see it's got huge undead and phantom damage. And if you go to affinity, huge light damage. Now that's a default thing for silver weapons. You can also see its attack strength is kind of low, and it will very, very quickly get outstripped by everything else in this. But yeah, we can't do any real combination there. Can we do combinations of shield? Sort of, actually. So if I was to combine this pulse shield with this Targe, I get a quad shield, which is better. Yay! On the other hand, I really kind of want to keep that pelt shield, because it will come in very handy later. So actually I'm not going to do that combination. There's a weird thing about shields in this game. The only way to make something into a Damascus shield is by having either a wood shield in combination or a Damascus shield. So keeping your wood shields wood is very important. It's a lot easier once you actually sort these damn things. Now, I'm probably not going to get any good combination for the armor either. Bandana plus bear mask. I'm pretty sure it's just going to make bear mask. Yep. Jerkin plus cuirass will probably just create cuirass. Yep. That's what happens when you use base level items, like the lowest. There's like 16 tiers. If you combine the lowest with anything, you get, nothing good. So bandage plus bandage is bandage. Bandage plus leather glove is leather glove. A bandage plus reinforced glove is reinforced glove. Okay. But leather glove plus reinforced glove equals reinforced glove. Okay, fine. Jerk. What I'm instead going to combine is reinforced glove plus knuckles to create ring sleeve. I'm not so concerned about leather gloves. Leather is useful if you want to go some niche magic builds, but you're basically not going to do that. Now what I could do is combine that ring sleeve with the knuckles to create a chain sleeve, which is ever so slightly better next tier along. But I'm not going to do that because that will leave me with back to leather gloves or something. It's not a good look. No one wants that. Put the ring sleeve there. So that's something I've actually improved by going in here. One last thing I need to do. I'm going to disassemble. Yeah. So I'm going to disassemble the Fandango. And I'm going to assemble it. So that scimitar blade plus the cross guard. This is the one that has the gem slot. And then I'm going to put in the Braveheart gem. Braveheart gems are really good. You want multiple of them if you can get them across the course of the game. And end up with one in each weapon. Plus 20% hit rate is not to be sneered at. And then the hardest part of the game, coming up with good names. I mean, it's a scimitar. I could just call it scimitar, but that's really, really dull. I'm going to massively improve this blade. It's going to change a lot. So I'm going to call it the Theseus, as in ship of Theseus, because I'm going to change all the parts in it, but it's going to be the same sword. And lastly, I'm going to repair. Now, repairing equipment restores the DP to max, but as you will see, it drops the PP a little bit, or maybe a fair bit, a little bit. Basically, the PP drops in proportion to how much DP was increased percentage-wise. So if you increase your DP by 50%, then you will lose half of your PP, I think. It might actually be larger, but basically that's the base idea. So there we go. I'm actually done. I might want to do one more combination. Sort by sort. I can get rid of that. I've got no use for it. So swept hilts don't have grips. Swap those two. Just because it's annoying me. Right, so I have something that has a short hilt equipped. Okay, you can see edge 4, piercing 1. Swept hilt is edge 2, piercing 4. So if I choose disassemble weapons and go to the Soul Kiss, no, that's the one I want. That I would. Yeah, I am going to reassemble that. And equip that with swept hilt. It'll do extra little bit of damage. And if I'm gonna name it, it's gotta be Arya. Sticking with the pointy end. What a disappointment that goddamn show was. I actually really like GameFAQs for like the first 4 seasons. It's like most people. That show was great until it wasn't. Anyway, we are about to hit an hour, so I'm going to stop here for the end of episode 2. I'll be back shortly for episode 3, where we'll beat the boss of this area, get into the next area, and hopefully beat that one too, and finally get out of all this cavern stuff. Get outdoors. So I will see you in a short while for that. Goodbye.